Hello, and welcome to this brief tutorial on how to compile your college list. This particular video is going to focus on the college list worksheet, as well as how to navigate the Big Future College Board resource page. Let's first start off with the worksheet. The worksheet has several boxes for students to put in information that's going to determine what their safety schools might be, schools that are attainable, and also reach schools. Let's start off with the first box, grade point average or GPA. Students will put their GPA here in the middle box, and they will add 0.2 to identify reach schools or subtract 0.2 or 0.3 for safety schools. Now, reach schools are schools where the student's academic credentials fall below the school's range for the average freshman. So one example would be if your GPA is a 2.0, Harvard is not a reach school. Harvard is actually a dream school. You want to perform similar information with the SAT scores, where students would put in just their reading and math, since most institutions do not require the essay. Safety schools are schools where the academic credentials fall above the school's range for the freshman class that they've admitted. Students would also do the same thing with the ACT score, and they would put their composite score anywhere between 1 to 36 and add 2 points for reach or 3 and subtract 2 or 3 points to identify safety schools. This is really a very involved process for students to be filling out, and that's why this workshop is extremely relevant to high school juniors and seniors who might already have this information, whereas freshmen and sophomores have not taken their SAT or ACT and their GPA is still in flux. Next, I'm going to show you the Big Future College Board resource. But remember that this is what students need to complete first before they move on to this resource. So this is the Big Future resource page from the College Board. And by getting to this website, you would go to bigfuture.collegeboard.org. Go over here to Find Colleges, scroll down to College Search. As you can see, you're presented with over 3,600 options for colleges and higher education institutions. We're going to specifically be using the Test Score and Selectivity tab along with location. With test scores and selectivity, students can input their math or SAT reading and writing, or even their ACT scores to figure out what would be a best fit for them and where they would be competitive. Let's give an example. Let's try this out. So we'll start off with SAT math. Let's say a student has a 600 on their SAT math and they want to see what schools they might be really competitive for or what might be a really good fit. So as you can see, we just scrolled down from about 3,600 schools to now 35. Let's close this box. Let's look at location. Let's look at the Southwest. So now based on the location and the SAT math score, we've identified almost 300 schools that might be a best fit for this student. Let's look at a couple. Let's look at Eastern New Mexico University as an example. We click on Eastern New Mexico University and we're brought to this page. This has a lot of information for students about this institution that they should definitely be reading over and seeing if it would be a good fit for them. It instantly tells them that it's a medium-sized four-year public university, where it's located, that it's a residential campus, what types of programs it offers. Let's scroll down here to applying. So here at applying, we're able to see that this is a somewhat selective school because only 60% of the applicants are admitted. They tell you very important information. What's important? Very important are your academic GPA and your standardized test scores. They also have other information about application requirements, what sort of tests that you'd need to take to be considered, different things about test policies. See how they also say that the SAT Essay, neither required nor recommended. So this is an institution that does not require or mandate that you submit an SAT essay score. Not using essay component. Let's scroll up. Here you can also look at academics and GPA. There's information here about your high school class rank, just so you can kind of see how competitive of an applicant you would be. As you scroll further down, you can look at your high school GPA, and you can also see how competitive you would be, and seeing where you would stack up in comparison to the previous incoming class of freshmen. And most importantly, you can also see the SAT and ACT scores needed. So if you're somebody who took the SAT, this would allow you to be a competitive applicant. And you kind of understand what the mid-range test scores that they've received for students that they're accepting into their program and into their institution. So based upon your SAT reading and writing, if you fall between this score, that's the mid-range. SAT math, that's the mid-range. So if you're at a 600, this could in fact be either a safety school because you exceed the expectations that they're looking for in their admitted class, or based upon other demographics, this might actually be a match school for you. After using all this information, students should go back and identify safety schools, match schools, and reach schools.